Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy Derwin. I'm here with Shane Buell. Today, we're going to be doing a follow-up to Jamaica and Hurricane Melissa that hit last week on October 28th. So we did discuss the evidence of geoengineering and the plans for a smart city to turn Jamaica into the new, turn Kingston into the new Kingston. And we'll go over that a little bit again. But more recently, we found out that a American firm has found a huge lithium deposit in Jamaica, and they just found this out in July of this year, so very recently. So, the timing of this discovery and knowing that there is a competition going on to the rights of rare earth minerals between China and the US. Right now, China has the reserves to 70% of the world's rare earth minerals, and the US is very desperately trying to catch up. And I'll go a little bit more into that towards the end. But I wanted Shane to recap a little of the geoengineering evidence.
Sure. All right. So I'm going to start with the satellite images of Hurricane Melissa, where I noticed something else was going on. We looked like surface aerosol injection right there on the side. And we've seen this several times before since Hurricane Milton. And we'll show that one more time. But ever since Hurricane Milton and even previous hurricanes, we've seen bunker ships sitting idle in the ocean right in the middle of the hurricane, putting these huge plumes into the sky. And that what that does is it actually helps add convection and moisture to the hurricane, possibly strengthening it. All right. So what I found in this area was that there was a bunker ship sitting in that exact spot. And we've seen this before, but this time it was actually an uncrewed ship, which didn't have any people aboard. So I looked into it a little bit more and I found out that there's very little information available about this ship other than it is uncrewed. And it also recently changed names about a week before the hurricane. So there is proof that there was geoengineering done by bunker ships and possibly even an autonomous bunker ship with no crew.
And then we also found a lot of information on the smart city that's planned for Kingston. We'll put the previous video at the end screen so you guys can learn more about that. But there is definitely a lot of plans for Jamaica. Okay, so I'm going to move into the lithium.
Sure.
Okay, so an American firm called, where's the, okay, here, Royalty Management, based in Indiana, in July found a massive lithium deposit. So it's estimated that Jamaica has a potential 213 million ton rare earth, deposit. That's not all lithium, but because of, lithium being so sought after for, the new battery operated society that we're going towards, it seems like there is kind of a rush to the rights for this very valuable resource. Lithium, or Jamaica, has mines already for many different things, including copper, all over the island. But, we are going to see lithium mining coming to Jamaica very soon. We did look into the investments in this company, trying to find a connection between the usual suspects like Blackstreet, Vanguard, or BlackRock, State Street, and BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. And we did find some of them as investors. They're not like majority shared. They have, here it says Vanguard Group, 0.25% ownership. The main owner is a man named Thomas Suave. He's the owner of the company. And then there are some trades that were done after the discovery. Here, Vanguard on the bottom. These happened in late August. But again, nothing huge. This one, VEXMX, 35,000 in a trade. Nothing crazy. So I don't think there was like foreknowledge about the hurricane. I think some of these companies just knew that, there was a discovery. So I wasn't able to make a connection quite there, but I don't know investments that well. So if you guys are more familiar with that and you have an opinion as to, whether there was foreknowledge by these investors, leave it in the comments. But something that I also found interesting is as the hurricane was hitting Jamaica, so I think it was the 29th, and the hurricane moved to Haiti and Cuba after Trump did make a statement about this hurricane. And I'll play it right here.
It's a stage 5, I guess. And you don't see stage 5. You don't see 5s very often. You see 4s and 3s, but this is a 5 early on, meaning it gets worse. So it's done a tremendous job. You mean with Jamaica?
Is the United States going to?
Well, we have to. On a humanitarian basis, we have to. So we're watching it closely and we're prepared to move. But it's doing tremendous damage.
So you said we're preparing to move. I don't know exactly what he meant by preparing to move, but Hurricane Melissa is it the strongest hurricane to hit land on record as far as like the winds?
As far as the Atlantic, and that's based on pressure and wind speed. Yes.
Okay, so it was a record-breaking hurricane. Something interesting that happened, it was expected to hit Kingston like straight on, but at the last minute it veered west. So it did affect Kingston, but not the way that we were expecting. Although Jamaica has been completely devastated by this hurricane. And the amount that Trump has pledged is $24 million to aid in the impact of Hurricane Melissa, which is not significant, especially when you consider that has to be divvied up between Haiti and Cuba. So it doesn't even allow for each household to get $700, not even close.
That's only a few dollars per person divided up among those 3 countries.
Yeah, so I was kind of expecting, a bigger investment, especially if they found this, earth mineral that is very sought after. So I don't know if there were deals, behind closed doors. I'm not sure, but time will tell when things develop. And also because this discovery was so recent, I don't think the population knew that this mining was gonna move in. Unlike Helene, the community knew that there were corporations gonna come and take out the lithium. So time will tell exactly how that pans out. But because so many people have been, affected by this storm, I don't think there will be a lot of attention to what's going on, like mining wise. Something that I heard Dane Wigington bring up in an interview with Kim Iverson is that he thinks the reason the US hasn't been hit by these really strong hurricanes this year is because they were directed out into the Atlantic because they know too many people know, like that they know that we know what's going on, especially after Helene. And so, in that sense, that's really good for me to hear because I like to believe I was part of that. But it's also bad to other countries because it seems like they are being targeted. There was also a very big typhoon that hit the Philippines last week, right? And it caused a lot of damage. We also found some evidence of engineering. Is that correct?
It looks like there could be, and I was looking at the satellite images, and we do see several of these, what I would call point source convections or surface aerosol injections in the storm. but due to their distance from land, I couldn't determine which ships were which because those are hidden behind a paywall. So it does look like there could be some of that going on. This is a very busy shipping lane, but there was several bunker ships within the storm. So it's entirely possible that this one could have been engineered. And there's actually another one coming, I think Sunday or Monday for the Philippines as well. So the Western Pacific has gotten more attention, I guess, than the Atlantic has this year. And that's probably because, the United States has become more aware of it since Hurricane Helene. So it looks like they've been focusing on the Western Pacific. And as far as Philippines goes, they've really had it bad the last 6 weeks. I think at the end of September, they had a hurricane or they had a earthquake. And now they've had just last week a super typhoon. And now there's another typhoon on the way to the Philippines.
And we're going to do a report next week on the Philippines typhoon. It's called Calmegi. Is that?
Yeah, Calmegi was the one that had recently struck. I guess it also had the nickname of Tino for some reason. And then there's another one coming this weekend.
Okay, so we'll know more by the time we release that one. There's also plans for Cebu, which is the tourist area that was hit by this more recent typhoon. So a lot to unpack there. So be looking out for that video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so before you leave, and like, comment, and share this video so we can let as many people know what's really going on. With that, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all soon. Bye.